learn more and more and more. So you should take opportunity to not only go for more courses, but to read more. When we fought wars, we used reading. We had some little exposure, some places, Mozambique and other places, Tanzania. Then we built knowledge through reading. Instead of being in, I hear that you spend a lot of time on chit chat, that you are chatting on social media. Are you chatting with people who are knowledgeable, or you are exchanging ignorance?
The president commended the UPDF's comprehensive approach to national defense, hinting at an imminent satellite launch to bolster aerial surveillance. Museveni also assured the cadets of improved pay and retirement packages, acknowledging the government's commitment to supporting long-serving fighters. In a message directed at the parents, President Museveni urged them to focus on wealth creation and poverty alleviation, sparing their children in the armed forces from financial burdens.
You don't become a burden to these young people, because now when these young people get a job in the army, to be an army officer, the parents who are not bothering to earn income, they start bothering them to send them money. Omwana okusindikira omuzadde sente. Songa omuzadde yandibadde awagira omwana. Naye eno mwakikyusa. Abaana babeera mu bizibu, abazadde okubatawanya ne sente. Why? Because the parents are not using the resources to get enough income. Therefore, you, the parents, you need really to get out of this, all the homesteads in Uganda. We have sent you the money. Abantu bwe barazibira mukuba tugenda kubakwata. Bulumuluka. Gulina sente zentandikwa.
Colonel Wycliffe Keita, the commandant of the Uganda Military Academy Kabamba, emphasized the diverse backgrounds of the officer cadets, with specializations ranging from medical and engineering to finance and legal services. On his part, General Wilson Imbadi, the Chief of Defense Forces at the UPDF, hailed President Museveni's visionary leadership that has transformed the UPDF into a professional and accountable force. He also disclosed plans to elevate the Uganda Military Academy Kabamba to a regional center of excellence for cadet training.
Viva! Viva! Uganda! Viva!
The Prime Minister, Rebna Nabanja, has urged people of Hoima district not to accept lies by the opposition, elements of saying that NRM government is not working. The Premier highlighted infrastructure developments like good road network, electricity and oil discovery as visible achievements by the NRM government. Nabanja made the remarks as she campaigned for the NRM flag bearer in the LC5 by-elections, Uthman Mujisha in Chitowa sub-county.
With only 4 days remaining to the polling day for LC5 chairpersons by-elections in Hoima, the Prime Minister, Robin Nabanja, has traversed the district in search for votes for NRM flag-bearer Uthman Mugisha. The Premier, who was joined by NRM officials' secretariat, addressed 5 rallies in Chitowa sub-county. The Prime Minister urged the people of Hoima not to accept lies by opposition elements of saying NRM government is not working. The Premier highlighted infrastructure developments like good road network, electricity and oil discovery as visible achievements by NRM government and pledged to address challenges of clean and safe water and land conflicts.
Very many roads, as you have seen, electricity, piped water and many other things. Yes, PDM, Emioga and many others. And so the people have promised to vote for NRM.
The Prime Minister, who was in the company of key NRM officials, including Deputy National Treasurer Jacqueline Chatuheire, Director Mobilization Rosemary Seninde, and Director Communications Emmanuel Lumala Dombo, urged the populace to support and vote Mugisha come next week.
LC5 chairman omwami waitu mzee kadirikano mukama mazire kutwara konkani mwabere mutizireki mubarozire ka NRM kandi tubasima munonga konka ruhanga yahija yamwegaruriza
bakuha bendera ngo munyeto toswaza abanyeto abagurusa bari aha ngo mushijo yabanga ari koresha bi mumwete mugambe nawe mumulagirire cyokola abamama abari wano mwito omwana wamwe mumulagirire
naye wakati mu byonna b'emikwano buli omu ajja kujja ne siyaasa asiige enziro boogere ebitaliiyo boogere ebiriyo nga basiiga enziro nga baagala obbalemesa okulonda nga bwe mwalonda mu kamyufu.
The youthful NRM candidate pledged the people of Hoima a better coordination and planning of local and central government activities.
Youth life in the program. Abagurusi baitu abandi tibafunaga akantu kaabo twinakoba chairman 5 ajja kurwani.
Hoima District LC5 chairperson by-election follows the death of former chairman Kadiri Kirungi. The polling day is on Thursday next week with 4 candidates on the ballot. Philip Aguta for UBC News in Hoima.
Thank you so much, Philip Aguta. Moving on from that, the Deputy Speaker of Parliament, Thomas Tayewa, has told investors in the United Kingdom that investing in Uganda is a sure deal to the success of their projects because of the prevailing excellent investment environment in the country. He said the investors are guaranteed of security and a huge return on the investment, citing non-tax and tax incentives and a large market from the East African region, Africa, and access to free markets in China, Europe, and the United States.
And stability.
The Deputy Speaker of Parliament, Thomas Tayewa, has encouraged investors in the United Kingdom to consider Uganda as a promising destination for their projects due to its favorable investment climate. He highlighted several factors making Uganda an attractive investment choice, which include security, substantial returns on investment, non-tax and tax incentives, and access to vast markets in East Africa, Africa, China, Europe and the United States.
You can hear about a few cases, allied democratic forces and all that, a few cases of insecurity. They are there because we have now gone back to where they are being produced, in the DRC. And working with the DRC government, we are ensuring that we have a much more stable country. We are a country that has secured the energy. We are around over 90% renewable energy, very, very reliable. We have extra power. We are even exporting to our neighbors. When other countries are struggling or you want to set up a factory in Uganda, we have excess energy. You'll find it, and it's affordable. We have put in place the infrastructure, and with the support of the UK government, we are even doing more and other partners in the world. We've created a market. We ensure that now our major focus is on import substitution so that after we go for exports. So it's a much bigger market. If you produce in Uganda, you sell anywhere in the East African community duty-free. But it's also a gateway to the rest of the continent, especially if you're preparing to benefit from the AFCTA which we believe is going to transform the African continent.
Tayewa emphasized Uganda's strategic location within the East African community, facilitating duty-free trade within the region. He also mentioned the potential benefits of the African Continental Free Trade Area. The first Deputy Prime Minister, Rebecca Kadaga, highlighted investment opportunities in tourism, water transport, railways, and more.
Water resources to generate power for our region. The Kagera has been very, very instrumental in this transborder resource. We have the Kikagati Morongo hydropower project, generating 14 megawatts, shared equally between Tanzania and Uganda, 7 each. Then on the Tanzania side, we have the Rusumo hydropower project, still on the River Kagera, which Rwanda and Tanzania are also generating electricity and also sharing. So we are working together to use the transborder resources. We have not done much with the River Nile. We admire the River Nile, we talk about it, but there's nothing much we're doing with it. So it's an area you can think about, especially in areas of tourism, water transport. We're also doing nothing about the River Congo, the longest river on the African continent, 6,000 kilometers. There's nothing we're doing with it. So it's another area you might consider working on. Of course, we need better infrastructure like trains and so on, move our people and goods within the region. So those are some of the areas you can also think about.
The Commissioner General of the Uganda Revenue Authority, John Rujoki Musunguzi, outlined various tax and non-tax incentives available to foreign investors, emphasizing exemptions for customs duties within the East African region. He also highlighted exemptions for industrial park development and lowered investment thresholds for specific scenarios. The Minister of Gender, Labour and Social Development, Betty Ongom, assured investors of Uganda's abundant and skilled labour force. On the sidelines of the convention, Tayewa stressed the importance of investing in young people through education and decent work, emphasizing that youth are vital for sustainable development. He expressed concerns about the global income inequality and advocated for greater investments in young people's education, skills and health. Tayewa urged the world to invest in young people, citing their potential and the need for inclusive decision-making. The convention provided a platform to discuss these crucial economic and developmental issues.
Thank you so much, Sigoa, for that report. And still with UBC News Tonight, UPC Party President Jim James Michael Akena has officially stated his ambition to participate in the 2026 presidential election. Akena made this announcement in a grand mobilization campaign held at the Mayor's Garden in Apache District, where he jointly addressed the masses together with prominent party leaders and members of parliament from the Congress Party. Take a look.
The party president of Uganda People's Congress UPC, Jimmy James Michael Akena, has held a mega rally in the northern district of Apache. Akena, who arrived in the district through Masindi Port, received a heroic reception by locals and party loyalists. Akena then proceeded to their ancestral home in Akokoro, where he laid a wreath on his father and grandfather's grave.
That when he dies, he wants to be buried next to his grandfather. And that is a wish which we struggled and we fulfilled. It was not easy, it was challenging, but eventually he came and he rested next to his grandfather. Not father, grandfather. Because the grandfather is the one who inspired him to get the education to fight the Bulai Makaki is the one who inspired my father to struggle for the independence of Uganda. Now I'm making a statement to my political leaders here. If by the time I go, you are still there, I want to be buried at the feet of my father. So look, on this side of the feet.
At Apache Mayor's Garden, a huge crowd gathered, waiting for the party president, commonly known in the area as a Tinkich, meaning an orphan. Although he did not mention directly his interests, his speeches and other speeches before were centered on the 2026 general election, challenging leaders at all levels to prioritize accountability in their service to the nation.
When we have challenges of medical treatment, which is not available
available or not affordable. Now, if I ask you as leaders, if Jesus was to come today and to ask you, what have you done when my people were suffering? What would you say? What were you doing when my children were struggling for education? What were you doing as a leader? What were you doing when there was no medicine in the hospital? What were you doing when the young people were looking for jobs and there was no job? Our forefathers could say, when there was no hospital, we built a hospital in a patch. When there were no secondary schools, we put the secondary schools. And we gave the children quality education, which made them available to do jobs anywhere in Uganda. So as leaders, what are we going to say? And I can tell you this one for free. As an MP alone, I cannot do what I want to do.
Akena is currently serving as the area member of parliament for Lira City East Division and was born to late former President Dr. Apollo Milton Obote, the first premier who led Uganda to independence in 1962. Eddie Olwa, UBC News.
The Minister for the Presidency, Millie Babirye-Babalanda, has asked religious leaders in Karamoja sub-region to persuade the youth to abandon the cattle rustling culture as it has left Karamoja underdeveloped. She also urged religious leaders to encourage residents to embrace development and government programs like Emyuga, Parish Development Model, among others. Minister Babalanda was meeting the Seventh-day Adventist Church leaders and Christians from the district of Amudat, Nabilatuk and Nakapiripiri districts. The meeting was held at Nakapiripiri Seventh-day Adventist Church in Nakapiripiri Town Council.
Since the beginning of this year, more than 10 people, including soldiers, have lost their lives and over 500 heads of cattle stolen in Nakapiripiri district. According to Nakapiripiri district leaders, insecurity is caused by the Pokot pastoralists from Amudat and West Pokot in Kenya. Nakapiripiri resident district commissioner John Michael Okurut narrates the current security in the district.
The security team is doing everything it can to contain the situation. The challenge we've got is the influx of criminals from the Kenya border, from Western Pokot, who ally with the Pokots of Uganda to come and destabilize Nakapiripiri. But by and large, it is not only to say that it's the Pokots only that cause insecurity. Even the local residents of Nakapiripiri.
It is against this background that the Minister for the Presidency, Millie Babirye-Babalanda, called upon religious leaders in Karamoja sub-region to speak to the youth to end insecurity as it has kept the region underdeveloped.
Talk to our sons to stop that habit of exchanging guns, because these people of Karamoja do have guns, which has cost us a great deal. Our people have lost life.
Babalanda urged leaders to encourage locals to embrace government programs like Emyuga, PDM, among others.
People stick on the government programs which are aiming at improving their livelihoods. And with the government programs, I can assure you, our people of this region will get out of poverty.
Minister Babalanda was meeting Seventh-day Adventist leaders and Christians from the districts of Nakapiripiri, Nabilatuk and Amudat. The function was held at Nakapiripiri Seventh-day Adventist Church in Nakapiripiri Town Council. Meanwhile, Christians at Nakapiripiri Seventh-day Adventist Church decried water scarcity, school infrastructure at Seventh-day Adventist Nursery and Primary School, as the head teacher, Slivia Musasizi, clarifies.
We are disturbed by insecurity, and recently when people died from our school compound, which was a challenge to the program of learning because everything was disorganized. We don't have borehole.
They lack basic needs. You find even they don't have books, they don't have pencils.
Minister Babalanda contributed 5 million shillings and the State Minister for Disaster, also woman member of parliament, contributed 1 million shillings towards the completion of the school structures. Over 100 million Ugandan shillings is needed to complete the school. Brian Tumwinebia Ruhanga, Moriniga, UBC News.
Moving on, the government of Uganda, with the Implementing Partners of Development Initiative for Northern Uganda, implemented by the Ministry of Local Government, has commissioned projects in Northern Uganda in the districts of Adjumani, Yumbe, Arua, Maracha and Zombo to solve a few of the outstanding problems faced in the region. Among these commissioned projects by the State Minister for Northern Uganda, Grace Freedom Kwichini, is a water facility, markets and customary registry offices and transportation infrastructure. Take a look.
The market, supported by EU and implemented by UNCDF.
The United Nations Capital Development Fund has handed over infrastructure developments to the locals of the West Nile region. The initiative by the government of Uganda and the European Union are implemented under the United Nations Capital Development Fund, 7-year European Union funded development initiative for Northern Uganda to drive recovery in the post-conflict region.
So on this day, we are commissioning the markets by the main market lock-up shops, commissioned by me, Minister of State for Northern Uganda.
The Minister for State of Northern Uganda, Grace Freedom Kwichini, called for more of government support.
If it is shared for smaller income group, it will accommodate many more women. As we are passing there, the women were giving us their sentiments. Say, look at us, we are in the rain, we are in the sun. Can you do something? So the message has really gone, and I'll also take it up with the government.
The local chairperson 5 Zombo district, Oyulu Orona, says with the new market commissioned, there will be an increase in revenue collection at the district compared to the past.
Very small rooms and not properly built, constructed. But currently, with all these arrangements, displaced number of people, since now we have put standard and they are now very large enough, which used to accommodate 2 people, now it is accommodating 1 person.
Over the years, Yumbe district has grappled with water scarcity where people have lost lives due to unsafe drinking water, among others. The Commissioner, Anthony Namara, Local Economic Growth at the Ministry of Local Government, gives an overview of the entire project.
We look forward to further partnership. Together we embark on a journey towards a more prosperous and sustainable future of this region.
The district engineer Zombo district, Isaac Ngangeno, gives the accountability to the UNCDF and the EU for the entire project of raising up a market facility.
In the design of the building itself, the buildings are robust and compact, so we don't expect anything much to break. You hardly see anything that can easily be damaged. So by design, we already thought of the O&M, and we believe this building will stand for quite a long time, over 50 years or so. Meanwhile,
the team moved to launch other projects in Arua, which include the Honey Pride Arua, among others. The United Nations Capital Development Fund and the European Union Funding Development Initiative project for Northern Uganda concluded commissioning of projects in the region that had lasted 7 years. Water facility and market in Yumbe, 100 km of Yunaminiki Road in Adjumani, District Customary Land Office Registry in Maracha, market facility in Zombo District, among others. I am Justin Nakami and Tanaba Kenneth for UBC News.
The Bishop of Namirembe Diocese, the Right Reverend Wilberforce Chicholuwadida, together with support from the diocesan clergy, have wedded 33 couples in a holy matrimony at St. Paul's Cathedral, Namirembe. The Bishop acknowledged that marriage is a gift from God and urged all Christians to embrace it. Details follow.
Relatives and friends of these couples gathered at St. Paul's Cathedral Namirembe are here to be witness couples making their marriage vows before the clergy. Annually, Namirembe Diocese organizes mass weddings during this period. This time, around 33 couples were wedded. In his sermon, Bishop Ruwalira reminded couples that marriage was blessed by God from the beginning when he created Adam and Eve.
And we are being reminded that marriage, according to Scripture, is a gift from God. So what happens if somebody extends a gift to you? I would imagine that you receive the gift, you appreciate the gift, and make good use of the gift. Now we are here witnessing the marriage of these people, and they are being reminded that what you are receiving is a gift from God.
Bishop Ruwalira urged the couples to keep their vows they have made as a guideline in their marriages.
We congratulate you, and we continue to pray that God has called you to fulfill His purpose as far as marriage is concerned. But you cannot do that unless you listen to Him on a daily basis. As you read His Word, and as you meditate on His Word, and as you follow Him on a daily basis.
The bishop also commended the Mission Department, Mothers Union and Fathers Union, Christian Women Fellowship and the clergy for organizing these weddings. The mission coordinator, Reverend Samuel Mwonge, called on Christians to attend the Diocesan Convention, which we held at Namirembe Gardens 10 September, with the guest speaker, the Bishop of South Ankware Diocese, Right Reverend Nathan Hahimbisiwe. Beatrice Nanziri compiled this report for UBC News.
Well, congratulations to the married couples. Now, in more stories, Uganda's education sector continues to undergo numerous transformations aimed at bettering it to meet global demand. To achieve this, many scholars have authored discourse that arms the nation with requisite technicalities to guide the education path. Take a look at Sentamo and Mugera have a detailed report on the story.
With knowledge that every nation's development must be in tandem with its education standards, senior scholar Eliab Lenion Gominsiriza has authored a book. Titled Education Policy Perspectives, the book launched at Kembabazi Catering Center in Naguru digs into the holistic governance of education in Uganda. The author's narrative has been intently weaved to examine the past trends of governance of Uganda's education system to inform a better future.
Come all this way today. I thank God. Many times I thought it would not be possible. And now here we are. God is great. He has made it possible.
Gominsiriza, whose journey through Uganda's education started in 1967 till 2013, uses his works to provide a foundation for upcoming and contemporary leaders.
Eliab was a teacher, he's a senior educationist, and so he made an effort to make a contribution to the education arena. So those who are developing the education curriculum need to find time and read this book and understand how was education during the pre-colonial times, the post-colonial times. What were the issues that people were grappling with, the students, the parents, the owners of schools. And so this is a book that is very important and key for everyone in the education sector to be able to understand and have a full perspective of how education has been growing right from the pre-colonial times. So
when this book brings out issues of policy, we look at issues of governance in terms of how schools are going to be managed with school management committees, board of governors, governing councils that should be able to bring out the interplay between the role of other stakeholders in terms of administrators, managers, and leaders.
He started as acting headmaster at Lubidi SS, lectured at Makerere University's education department, before stops as head teacher at Kigezi High School and Intare School. He was elevated to senior lecturer and dean at the Institute of Teacher Education, Kyambogo, before serving 13 years at Kyambogo University. John Barnes, Sentamo, UBC News.
In their quest to give back to the community, the Lions Club of Kampala is collaborating with Anti-Jovita Foundation, have held a community reading engagement with young children around Naguru suburbs. The Vice President of Lions Club of Kampala, East Hilda Mdenyi, emphasizes the need for parents to play the full role of inculcating the spirit of reading in young children.
The Vice President of Lions Club of Kampala East, Hilda Mdenyi, has called upon parents to play a primary role in ensuring young children master the art of reading at an early age, reminding them that leaving this role to only schools will not bridge the literacy gap faster.
So today we join the rest of the world to celebrate World Literacy Day. We've been here, we've read with the children, we've partnered with the communities around, gathered children together, we've read stories, we've done crossword puzzles, we've done spellings, and we've explored, we've allowed the children to express themselves through reading and writing. Parents, we've realized that parents do not have time to be with these children. They are busy working, but it's important. The first teacher is the parent.
Juna Jovita from Anti-Jovita Foundation emphasizes the significance of entrenching reading culture to learners at a young age for their confidence building and acquisition of general knowledge.
This time we came to Naguru because of its vicinity, because of the environment, and we are giving back to the community by sharing the little we have. We do not have much, but we thought by just reading and writing with these children, we will have an impact we've made in their lives. And why this reading is also good, it promotes instant reading. Why? Because when you're trying to read something and you can't get it right, your peer will tap on you and maybe read it or pronounce it out well for you, and you learn. Yes, of course, many of the parents have left the reading aspect to the teachers outside their homes, but as a parent we can try to do our best by buying small readers for these children.
The Deputy Teacher Administration, St. Mary's College Isubi, Justice Katatumba, submits that many parents have become too busy for their young children. He says that majority of learners who still face challenges in reading didn't get exposed to reading earlier on at home.
If parents help their children to read with them at home, it would enhance and improve the reading culture in this country. Children who read so well start from home. They don't start from school. The teachers at school only top up to what the parents have done. I think at this stage, all parents need to be involved. Many of the children who have reading difficulties is because they don't read at home. Parents in this generation seem to be too busy for their children. They don't do homework with them. The homeworks are being done by either maids or some other members of the family.
Reading can help us in many things. You can read in communications, you can learn how to speak English. It can even promote you to higher places.
Fresh from the World Literacy Day, the importance of reading to young children has been emphasized. Reading exposes them to new language skills and helps them to navigate the world easier. Crispus Alinitwe, UBC News.
Thank you so much, Crispus. Medical experts have advised those intending to lose weight to use the proper channels in order to avoid health complications. Medics say administration of food supplements and other faster slimming ingredients is one of the major causes of various cancers.
Many Ugandans who are dissatisfied with their weight tend to go for food supplements and creams, which yield results in a short time. Medical experts say this is dangerous to human health.
Supplements are one of, as you know, we are all blessed with knowledge that technology has to keep on developing. So supplements usually are good for people who are like the elderly, yes, because at that point there are some nutrients that you may need more than the other that you can't get in a food. But if you're normal or you're still young, we don't advise supplementation. What you can do is know how to do your food, know how to complement your food, if I can use that. Know that if I'm eating this and this and this, what nutrients am I going to get at the end? So complementing your food is better than supplementing your food.
Experts explain the conditions in which an individual can initiate a weight reduction procedure.
You're supposed to have an ideal weight depending on your height and weight. I think I said that. So if you go beyond your ideal weight, you're supposed to reduce. That's when we bring in weight loss. So when you're fatter than what you're supposed to be, or when you have excess weight than what you're supposed to have, you're prone to non-communicable diseases like hypertension, diabetes, which is I think called sukari here, cancers, different types of cancers, and also obesity. Then in the long run, you can get stroke.
To have a healthy life, medics recommend to have rightful portions of food.
The only thing that you have to know is too much of everything is bad. So even with a good matoke, with a good grade 1 posho, with a good sweet potatoes, if you eat them wrongly, you can gain weight. So knowing what to eat is one thing. Also portion sizes. How exactly do you portion your food?
This was during the first medical exhibition at Wuma Showground, Lugogo, where medics from various departments showcased services as well as diagnosing minor illnesses.
Range of hospitals and other companies that are giving out free health medical services. There is screening, there is consultation, all free of charge.
And they are hungry for knowledge. Everyone who has been here has come to the information desk and told us, thank you so much for 5K. I have really gained so much. So I would like to thank everyone who has come today, and I urge everyone to come out. You need to know your status. How are you doing? How is your heart performing? What do I need to do? How do I need to stay healthy? So
the exhibition will be climaxed with a competition among participants with an aim of coming up with noble businesses in the health sector which benefit a huge population.
And so we're particularly interested in novel businesses in the healthcare sector of Uganda that will adequately and affordably take care of the healthcare needs of Ugandans in a manner that they're satisfied.
Mary Namkose, UBC News.
Now, the resident District Commission Barra Turiabajenyi Emmanuel Katera has officially launched the distribution of gears to be used by VHTs and LC1 chairpersons in the distribution of the incoming long-lasting mosquito nets. The launching function was witnessed by LC1 chairpersons, VHTs, the Mayor Wizweda Rutoma Patrick Bigam Wensi and Health Inspector of Wizweda Rutoma Town Council, and the Health in Charge in Wizweda Health Council 4, Dr. Richard Atuhaire, at the office of the RDC.
The resident District Commission Barara Turiabagenyi Emmanuel Katera has warned the local council leaders that in the selection of VHTs shouldn't be politicized. He says there shouldn't be any corruption but aim at targeting the original list of VHTs, those that had been voluntarily serving over time, not political leaders choosing their political agents. Turiabagenyi explained that by the time NRM took over government, the population of Uganda was about 14 million, with deaths associated to malaria, measles, scumbling of tuberculosis and other diseases, responsible for reducing the population.
Sanitizers, flip charts, and markers. And I have told these people who have received them that these are supposed to be used by only those who fall in that category. And I have also warned these people that in the selection of VHTs, it should not be politicized. Corruption should not be there. They should target the original list of the VHTs, those who have been voluntarily working overtime, not some political leaders choosing their own agents during the campaigns, immediately to baptize them as VHTs in order to benefit from these items.
Bagenyi explained that Mbara district was selected to benefit from mosquito nets because of the upsurge of malaria infection, where the government decided to supply another set of mosquito nets. Patrick Tumuhimbise appreciated President Museveni and the NRM government for considering the local people by providing the mosquito nets and other basic essentials.
Who are going to be the beneficiaries of this project, please, if you know that you cannot sleep in our net, instead of using it to construct the structures for your hens and other animals at home, you just submit it back to the town council or the district. We know the target audience, people who can utilize them, and they get good health.
The LC chairperson Nyakazinga Cell Retogo Ward, Mugambire Emmanuel, thanked the government for offering free mosquito nets, promising to ensure proper utilization to fight malaria.
kureba ngo twatambira indwara bataza kubiteka umukuza kutega ibyenyanja uza kubiteka kujwara ngo bitimba babantu batwegesa kugira cinkebyo ubutimba shime kwa buza atanda by'abantu kugira ngo abantu bagira bata twayirinda indwara
izineza abahina bahi.
HIV or AIDS remains a major global public health challenge, having claimed close to 40.4 million lives, with Uganda reported to have lost close to 1.5 million persons to HIV and AIDS. The women under the African Women Prevention Community Accountability Board have come up with the Choice Manifesto to pressurize nations of African partners to emphasize choice in prevention options for adolescent girls whom the UNAIDS data has ranked very vulnerable. Take a look.
We would want to see an HIV prevention agenda that includes choice among both prevention options and programs for women and girls to prevent HIV.
A cross-section of women HIV/AIDS activists under the African Women Prevention Community Accountability Board, United Nations Joint HIV/AIDS Program UNAIDS, and HIV Prevention and Treatment partners were signing a joint working tool, the Choices Manifesto, to put pressure on nations of Africa and development partners to support choice of prevention options.
But when we got new infections, out of the 52,000 new infections that we had last year, women accounted for 30,000. And 70% of those amongst new infections for women were adolescent girls and young women between the age of 15 and 25.
According to a study done by UNFPA, there was more than 1,000 teenage girls who were becoming pregnant every day in Uganda during the COVID lockdown. Why am I mentioning this? Because it relates to HIV. All of these pregnancies are unwanted.
The United Nations Program on HIV/AIDS Executive Director Inya Winnie Byanyima has expressed the need to engage all nations to adhere to choices of prevention as a measure to reduce prevalence among adolescent girls and young women.
The Choice Manifesto is by African women who are demanding that in the package of prevention tools, HIV prevention tools, that the vaginal ring, which is one tool that a woman can control by inserting in her body, that helps her to prevent herself from being infected with HIV. They want that to be included together with condoms, together with other tools for prevention. And I support it.
The Depaverin vaginal ring is a flexible vaginal ring made of silicone that slowly releases the antiretroviral medication called Depaverin over the course of the month to reduce the risk of HIV infection. The Global Fund, World Health Organization, and UNAIDS all have global HIV strategies that are aligned with the SDG Target 3.3 of ending the HIV epidemic by 2030. But according to UNAIDS Director Winnie Byanyima, there is a lot more to be done to reduce on the inequalities in the prevention and treatment of HIV/AIDS.
We cannot allow
demonopolization of life-saving technologies. The system has to change, and we have to keep knocking on it, chipping on it until it changes and people can get life-saving technologies as soon as they become available. It should not depend on where you live, where you were born, what color of your skin, for you to get something to save your life.
One of the conveners of the African Women Prevention Community Accountability Board from the International Community of Women Living with HIV East Africa, Lilian Mwaleko, has appealed to government agencies in the health sector to have a quick intervention in the availability of the provision packages.
We have the tools in place. They have been approved for use. WHO or World Health Organization has also approved these tools. But the way, the speed at which our countries are picking up and approving, especially the national drug authorities, the way they are approving these products in our respective countries is very, very slow.
The best way to treat HIV infection is to prevent people from further infection and pre-exposure. Prophylaxis appears to be a successful way of accomplishing prevention.
Moving on, the woman member of parliament for Wikwe District, Diana Mtasingwa, has warned medical workers at Kawolo Hospital to stop torturing patients with the excuse of not being paid their salaries. She officiated the laying of the foundation stone for construction of an operating theatre at Ngogwe Health Centre 3, expected to cost 506 million Ugandan shillings. Details for that.
The Ministry of Health decided to upgrade some of the health center 3s in Wikwe district to grade 4 with the aim of increasing the health services to the public. Ngogwe Health Center 3 is one of the facilities. Two health centers plan to be upgraded to Health Center 4 with an infertility surgery center to reduce commotions caused at Kawolo Hospital. The woman member of parliament, Wikwe District Diana Mtasingwa, asked contractors to work within the time being allocated in order to meet the demand. She also condemned doctors over mistreating patients.
That our certificate of site handover for this.
We have gotten many complaints. We had a strike months ago where the Prime Minister came herself to the hospital of Kawolo, hospital because of the strike of the doctors and the nurses because of not being paid. We come out as leaders of Wikwe. We are going to fight this because we know that if someone comes to hospital, they need to get equal services. They need to be treated. So if our doctors and nurses are not doing that of Kawolo Hospital, as leaders we are going to come out and change them, because we can sit down as leaders and change them and get people who are able to work, because you're working for these people, you're given salary, so why aren't you working? So we are coming out strongly because the community is complaining, and we are going to do inspection in that hospital, in Kawolo Hospital.
The district health officer, Dr. Richard Bossa, pointed out some of the services that will be added to the hospital and thanked the ministry for heeding their cry.
This is a blessing to this region, Wikwe South Health Sub-District, but also for Wikwe District, because we shall be able to order more drugs for the health facility. The grant, the money from central government will increase, and so many other advantages which will come with this upgrading.
The deputy hospital in charge, Harriet Namulondo, thanked the government for the services and assistance they provided despite the challenges of being in possession of all the facilities to attend to pregnant mothers.
Since being a health center 3, we are having even numbers more than a health center 3. That's why at the moment I will have a number of beds and the mothers coming for delivery. And we have also our labor ward, which has now also facilities for better deliveries. We have the delivery beds and most of the equipments, like for resuscitation of the babies, oxygen, we have it, MVA, for especially postnatal care, family planning, also we have it. So we find it that most of the equipments which are ideal. The only gap was that maybe in times of referral, because the referring center, Kaolo, is still far.
Patients were excited over the new operating theatre and pointed out the challenges they have been facing due to small space at the hospital is now resolved.
In a gomba for a single kubenene mu district, we never resound Sato. Tutambula ngendo okuva mu kilomita netumuntu wava ekiringa atambula kilomita 0 natuuka ku ddwaliro. N'ekibadde ekisinga tusomooza nti munatambula olugendo okuvanga Kiwuluguma Malubye okujja wamufuna eddagala. N'atuuka nga tewali ddagala. Ng'obulwadde obulwa ne bamuwandiikira nene bamujuliza agende Kawolo.
Tuli basanyufu kuba mukusookera ddala matenti gano nga gakajja g'engogwe ze nali omu kubasookedde okuzaala omwana nga asookera ddala la first born wa maternity ze mukola ki ze mulina. Naye kyatwongera bwe tulina luli maternity nga tuli bubi ne kakati batwongerako tuba basanyufu batubonaabona batusindika kukonjeru batusindika lugazi entambula etubula ne tuli basanyufu olw'okuba bajatuteekerawo okutwongerako obuzito bw'eddwaliro.
Transport to the wrong person. Here's how to reverse it with MTN Mobile Money. Dial *165#. Select My Account. Select Initiate Reversal. You will see your last 3 transactions. Select the transaction you want to reverse. Enter your mobile money PIN and you'll get an SMS confirmation that the transaction has been blocked from being withdrawn. And that's it. Please note, only transactions that haven't been withdrawn can be reversed.
Juko. Yo. What you check the shopping, man. What's your secret?
Haven't you heard of the parish development model PDM?
Yes, I did, but I thought it was just a talk.
No, it is real. I and a few friends together formed a circle, accessed money from the PDM, invested in a poultry project, and now things are moving.
Juko. I thought I was one of your friends.
You are.
But you left me behind.
I didn't leave you in poverty. What you do, just visit your LC2 chairperson and your parish chief and start the process of economic transformation. Just like that. The parish development model is an initiative from the government of Uganda through the Ministry of Local Government designed to transform all lives of Ugandans for the better. PDM, my parish, my development, my life.
Uncle, you should see London.
Oh, my boy. This has been 5 years. You should see Uganda.
Yes. Uncle Marcus, that's my former school.
See, soon there will be more than 1 million children learning like this for free.
This is impressive. Do you even have connection out here?
Well, we have 100% 4G countrywide.
Okay.
We even have 5G too.
That's approximately 700 billion Uganda shillings in tax, making Airtel one of the largest corporate income taxpayers over the last 5 years, helping build a better Uganda.
Today your son saw our new Uganda.
Thank you, Uganda, for imagining it with us and making us the fastest growing telecom in the country over the past 5 years.
Did you know that you can safely and conveniently make your school fees payments anytime, any school, anywhere using Airtel Money? Oh yes! Simply pick up your phone and dial *185#. Select option 6, school fees. Choose between school pay, peg pay, or shore pay. Enter student number. Enter amount, confirm name and transaction. Enter Airtel Money PIN. A confirmation message will be sent to you upon a successful transaction. Airtel Money. Instant, secure, borderless.
Hello,
Mom, how did you sleep? How is Salongo? Oh, Mommy, how is Grandma? And Simba, the dog, yeah, the funny one.
Call Bona on any network in Uganda with Airtel Bona voice bundles. Dial *100*1#, select Call Bona to choose bundles from as low as 1,000 shillings from daily, weekly, monthly, or bundles that don't expire. Call Bona on any network in Uganda with Airtel. A reason to imagine.
Welcome back from that short commercial break. In our business stories, MUGA, the Presidential Initiative for Job Creation and Household Income Generation, is making significant strides in various groups in the districts of Mubende, Kabarore and Chegwegwa. During an exchange visit with MUGA leaders from central Uganda, organized by the Microfinance Support Center, the delegation witnessed remarkable economic transformations through various established enterprises. Take a look as Waita reports.
The establishment of MUGA savings and credit cooperatives is proving to be a game changer, significantly improving household incomes in the communities. A case in point is the Chaka Central Produce Dealers MUGA Circle. With an initial capital injection of 30 million shillings from the Microfinance Support Center, this cooperative has grown to over 600 members comprising 56 associations. They wisely utilize the funds to engage in large-scale trading of local produce, including maize, beans, matoke and cattle. Many members are now reaping the benefits of their entrepreneurial efforts.
Members borrow money. Some of them, they buy cows and they start selling milk and, of course, rearing animals. So they are celebrating the profit margin they get. And of course, they are managing to pay for their children's school fees. Yeah, others, they have managed to invest in a plantation of bananas, and they are now selling bananas, and they are managing their homes efficiently.
Mubende District Debagenza Circle received a substantial financial boost from the Microfinance Support Center. This cooperative now boasts savings of 1.8 billion shillings and has dispatched loans amounting to 2.5 billion shillings. Members have used these resources to purchase land, venture into income-generating activities, and most importantly, develop a robust saving culture.
Many have bought Bibanja and many have bought land. Many have paid school fees for their children and they give testimony. Several businesses have started because of the support of Bageza Circle. People who have not been used to saving, because now you can't save to commercial banks if you are a small earner. Bageza Circle has taught them how to save. Even if you have little money, you bring it and save it.
The visiting delegation of MUGA Circle leaders from the Central Uganda in Wakiso district was thoroughly impressed by the remarkable growth of MUGA Circles in Western region. In Ibutebe, Fort Portal, the North Division Women Entrepreneur Omoga Circle, with a 50 million shilling fund from the Microfinance Support Center, established a vacation training institute. This institute provides essential life skills to women groups, enabling them to form enterprises such as hairdressing, tailoring, milk production, and craft unique products used to promote tourism.
So one of the things that we do is to encourage women to save the money. So the other thing that we do is training women into entrepreneur and business. And also these youth and women that are learning these skills are going back home to do a skill to get money and join the circle.
The women entrepreneurs MUGA Circle in Bunyangaba constituency, led by the chairperson Beatrice Mwesige, received a seed capital of 30 million. They leveraged these funds to invest in making clay pots, cattle rearing, and crafts. These ventures have enabled beneficiaries to pay for school fees and meet household needs, showcasing the tangible impact of MUGA on the ground courtesy of Microfinance Support Center.
That's all we had for you tonight. Thank you so much for watching UBC News Tonight with me, Sharon Chomdisha from the team, and I. Have a lovely night and a blessed Sunday. Bye-bye.
Areas, though later on in the afternoon, some areas had sunny intervals. My name is Juliet Nanteza with the latest weather updates from Uganda National Meteorological Authority. When we take a look at the satellite imagery today, it shows that the rain-bearing clouds are over us, and this explains more why some areas are having rains. In the morning, we expect thundering showers in Kampala and Masaka. Other areas, we expect light showers. Eastern, we expect thunder showers in Jinja and Tororo. As for Soroti, we expect light showers. Kasese, Mbara and Kabale, we expect light showers, and as for Masindi, we expect thunder showers. In the north areas of Kitugum, Kotido and Moroto, we expect to be with sunny intervals, whereas other areas we expect light showers. Later on in the afternoon, central, we expect temperatures to rise to 25 in Kampala, 27 in Mubende, Masaka 26 with thunder showers. Eastern, we expect temperatures to rise to 27 with thunder showers, and western, we expect temperatures to be at 26 in Kasese and Masindi, Mbara 24, Kabale Highlands 22 with thunder showers. In the north, we expect temperatures to rise to 27 in most areas with thunder showers. World cities, Dubai, we expect bright and sunny conditions at a maximum of 39. Cairo, we expect a maximum of 39 with sunny intervals, and London, we expect a maximum of 31 with sunny intervals. Nairobi, we expect a maximum of 25 with showers. That's all we had for you from Uganda National Meteorological Authority. Stay tuned and have a blessed Sunday.